van. Now this video we're gonna do like a 2023 update video, so it's just gonna be a lot of sitting and talking, so you can feel free to completely skip this if you like, and next week's video will be something adventurous, I'm sure. You know, if not, welcome. So let us just begin by sort of reflecting over 2022. Now, while my journey in the van started in 2020, I may have just done the stupidest thing ever. Bought a van. I didn't actually get in it and start driving and traveling and adventuring until November 2021. That's when the land border between Canada and the US opened up, and I immediately packed my van and I crossed the border and headed south. I went on a bunch of wild adventures. I met a ton of great people, and you know, I got to see all my friends, and it was truly, you know, like the van life trip of a lifetime for me. I did also mention in my 2021 video way back before I started this whole adventure that I was driving to Mongolia. Long-term plan, 3 years to Mongolia. You heard me, 3 years to Mongolia. That was the end destination. So like put my van on a boat, send it to Europe, work in Europe for a year, and eventually make my way towards Mongolia. Well, not in Mongolia, am I? Yeah, so obviously a lot has happened since making that plan, I guess you could say, but as you do in these times, stuff changes. Essentially, the war in Ukraine sort of put a big halt in my travel plans. Going over to Europe and traveling in that direction was just not the best move to do, I think. But then also, the van broke down more times than I was anticipating. I'm gonna tell you, this is not how I anticipated my drive to Warroad. I'm literally parked on the side of the highway in the middle of nowhere. And I had to spend a lot more money than I was anticipating spending, and that put me definitely into a hole. And I was like, well, since I'm not going to Europe or Mongolia right now, I might as well go home, go back to my old job, make some money, get out of debt, build that travel fund again, and try again. You know, it's you know, life's about failures, and well, you could say it was a failure, but I still feel like I won. So yeah. On top of going to Mongolia, a couple other goals of mine for 2022 was to post a video a week, and eventually, hopefully, potentially get monetized on my YouTube channel. I can proudly say I accomplished both. I'm still so happy. I made that commitment to myself to post every week for a year. I will say my year started in July of 2021. So I posted every week from July 2021 to July 2022. And I was so proud that I like made that commitment to myself, and I kept it, you know. After that, it started dwindling and I completely fell off the edge when I went back to work. But another story, another time. Second was getting monetized, and on December 31st of 2022, I got the acceptance email to be able to monetize my channel, and by January 1st, my channel was monetized! And I can't tell you how good that feels, and I understand that, you know, the ads are really annoying, hence why I pay for YouTube Premium. But, you know, it will allow me to be able to continue this life and continue going forward and continue adventuring and making deep connections and relationships. Having said that, yeah, that entire year, I went without making a cent. That whole trip, I didn't make one dime off my videos. So to finally start making money is good. It's January 20th today, and I'm up to 20 bucks. So, you know, I'm pretty proud. I really appreciate it, and I'm so thankful, and I'm so happy, and I appreciate every single one that shows up. Anyway, so those were like some of like my goals for 2022. And let me just look at my book here. I got my points. As for the Mongolia trip, I still intend to go to Mongolia eventually. Driving there is probably not an option for many years now, so there's chances of me potentially flying there first. Will I ever drive there? I mean, I got a lifetime to do it. So, you know, hopefully one day it'll be settled enough to be able to do it, but just not right now. Now let us move on to 2023 goals and what to expect. Now I'm still working. If you don't know, I work in the film industry. We work some pretty mean hours. You know, I'm guaranteed a 75-hour work week, for example. So getting videos out is really hard. I was recently working on a show and I was doing that from August to December, and I got maybe one video out in that entire time frame. So going forward this year, I'm only going to be working till June. I'm going to do my best to get a video out every week, every other week, but I can't guarantee it just because my hours are so extreme. It's hard, but at the same time it will replenish the travel fund so that I can then set off again. I originally started this channel as a thrifting channel. I started back in 2020, and because you couldn't really travel, I also love thrifting. That's like another hobby of mine that I absolutely love. So I started it as like a travel thrifting channel. And while I really wanted to do my trip, you know, from Vancouver Island all the way to Mongolia, based out of like traveling and thrifting and selling stuff along the way, between the traveling, the driving, the editing the YouTube videos, I didn't have time for the thrifting portion. Now that I'm back home, I might be doing a little bit more thrifting, but even then I'm still going to focus on more adventure, travel-based content on this channel. As for travel plans in 2023, I don't know. I actually don't know. There's like so many different little ideas of like where I want to go and what I want to do, but nothing is actually set in stone yet, and nothing that I can announce to the world and be like, this is what I'm doing. It's sort of just like, I think I'm gonna go here in this month, and I think I might do that one in that month, and I might do that in September, you know, but like nothing is set in stone. But there will be travels. Like there's no way there's not going to be travels, but there will be travels. For the next probably little bit though, there's going to be a lot of content based off of Vancouver Island and Victoria. So if there's anything you want to see on Vancouver Island specifically, want to know about Victoria, Vancouver Island, you let me know and I will probably make it, because I'm going to be there for a little while, which I'm actually really excited to shoot because, you know, it's home. I want to share my home, and there's actually a lot to see and do there. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah, that kind of like leads me into the last point of today's video is I'm starting a Patreon. That's right. I'm starting a Patreon page on February 1st. I'm going to be launching the page. Now, please know, the page already exists. There's just nothing on it. So as on February 1st, I will be putting a big catalog of stuff that I have saved up onto Patreon, and what to expect. Behind the scenes content, early access to videos, as well as there'll be exclusive videos. There's some videos that I've made that I don't really want to make them public yet, or feel like I can make them public yet. So I feel like Patreon is a good place where I can put the videos and get some feedback of whether or not I should risk putting them on the public platform or just leaving them exclusively. So we'll see, you know, updates of my future travel plans. So while I may not express exactly what I'm doing here on the channel, there on Patreon I will touch more into like the travel idea plans that I have. Some concrete things I actually am doing, but they're in 2024. That'll all be shared on Patreon. I don't want to commit anything here just yet, as well as I'll be putting polls of like maybe where I should go or what I should do. Maybe I will do polls where you guys get to pick where I go next. But then also I am very open to doing whatever you guys kind of want. No nudes, guys. No OnlyFans, no nudes. Don't even say it, okay? It's not gonna happen. No feet pics, not gonna happen, okay? I'm just gonna put that to bed. Don't even ask. Now, yeah, so open to feedback, and there is no obligation, zero obligation to go to Patreon and support me that way, especially if you can't. Like, don't feel obligated like you have to. Like, I have followed creators on and off when I could afford it, and so I understand if you can't, and if you can, I super appreciate it. Your view here matters to me too, so I don't think I don't recognize that. I appreciate it so much. But that's it. That's all I really got. I have had a fabulous last year. I appreciate everybody that has been a part of it. Thank you everyone who's been watching, who's been following my journey. You guys make me really happy. You really do. You really do. I don't think you realize, and it's really hard to translate through the camera. And I know like everyone says it like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it so much. It makes me so happy when I see you guys show up each week. So I really appreciate it. And that is actually it. That's all I got. I'll see you next time. Also, like, this looks real good, right? Check this out. Yep, this is what my setup looks like. Yeah. Classic van life. It looks perfect, but it's really not.